Here's the 2-hour price chart for SoFi Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker SOFI. So as we can see here, the stock is really starting to take a dive here after making some pretty significant share price gains previously. So we need to drill in a bit on this chart so that we can identify some specific price points and ultimately identify a trading strategy here going forward. So as we can see here, there were some significant price movements to the top side previously. Specifically, the stock found support zones coming in at during the July 9 trading session. This support zone posted at the low of $6.15. And then quite quickly, we really reversed higher here all the way to near-term highs coming in at $7.85. This movement was significant because, as we can see here, this is a price movement that broke a downtrend line that had been quite strong previously. So there was a very significant downtrend here, which was developing and had been in place for quite a while. I mean, we can go far back on this price chart. This downtrend really began roughly a year ago. This would be roughly toward the end of July 2023. So this is a very forceful move to the downside, and we were just now starting to see prices break to the top side. This is significant because this does suggest that the tide is starting to turn. However, when we see price declines like this, it starts to call a lot of that into question, and it can really make things very confusing for traders to figure out what is the ultimate direction here. So where exactly are we? As things currently stand, I would say that this move to the top side is an important break to the top side. I do think that it suggests that the overall downtrend here is starting to break, but I don't think that we're quite there yet. In some cases, you need to break a level a few times in order for it to break convincingly. It's sort of like breaking a door down. You need to sort of ram into it a few times in order for it to convincingly break and not return, not be sustainable anymore. So I think that that's what we're seeing here with this current break to the top side. I wouldn't exactly call this a false breakout, but the near-term lows here coming in at $6.01 are now very important. If we break this level to the downside, we do have to start to go back now on the chart in order to figure out where the next price zone lower would start to be seen. So as we can see here, this prior support zone came in. This would be 615. And then we recently broke this during the August 5 trading session coming in at 601. So if this is going to be true, and if we are going to continue to look for prices on the downside here, we have to move back now on the chart and go all the way back to the price move that started during the middle of May 2023. This is when the stock really started taking off. If we take a look at this price chart here, so if we're using this price move, we can then use this bull wave here, this bull trend, to get some Fibonacci levels that can give us some potential support zones here going forward. So if we do this, we can see that the stock has already broken through all of its major Fibonacci zones, except for the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement. That's this sort of teal, kind of light green line here. As we can see, this currently comes in right around the $6 mark. So if this does break, what this really tells us is that the full move is then going to need to retrace itself. Once you break through all these other Fibonacci support zones, the last line in the sand really comes in at this 78.6% level. So if we are able to make a convincing break, I would really call this a weekly close. If you see a weekly close below the $6 mark, I think that you need to probably have some patience with this stock and wait for the stock to fall back toward the 445 level, and then you can start to buy the stock again. Ultimately, that should be the ultimate downside for the stock if we continue to see prices move that far. I'm not necessarily saying that that will happen, but what I'm saying is that people should sort of be patient and wait to see if we see a weekly close below this area. Currently, we have not seen that. I mean, that is the point of good news that we can say here. If we go back to this sort of kind of, I don't know if you want to call it a catastrophic event, but this major move to the downside that was seen on August 5th, this would have been a Monday trading session, so you don't get a weekly close on a Monday. But what we can see here is that the significance of this is that it's actually still a green candle. So it's a little hard to believe possibly because, we did get this major move to the downside. I'll sort of draw it in here. We got this major move to the downside, but this price candle here is actually a green candle. It's not a red candle. even though we saw all this downward price movement. So what does this mean exactly? What this means is that the share price closed above the open. So this opened lower. What we really saw here was a major price gap lower, but then people started to buy the stock into this area. So what this really means is that this $6 level is an incredibly important support zone that will be very important for the stock going forward. If we do see a break I would really like to see a weekly close, not even just a daily close. A daily close would be a warning signal. So if we saw a daily close at like 595 or something like that, that would be a very bad sign. But a weekly close would be more significant. If we saw a weekly close, say at 595 or below there, that would be a major warning signal, because then I think that we would start to ultimately fall back toward this 545 level. 445. But as things currently stand, the stock is attempting to make a little bit of a recovery here. So we do need to focus on this now for just a moment. So as we can see here, the share price has posted some recent gains here, which come in. This ultimate high here came in at $6.78. This is significant because we saw a bit of a failure here at this orange line, which is the 50 period exponential moving average. What we would like to see would be a break above all four of these exponential moving averages. We've already broken above one, so we have three more that need to be broken. Currently, what we're looking for to the top side is a close above $6.95. That would be a bullish signal. If we did see a break above $6.95, this would tell us that the stock is now trading above its exponential moving average cluster, and that the positive momentum is now starting to reinvigorate itself. If that does occur, then we can start to look at this prior downtrend here as being finished. Okay, but as things currently stand, this movement to the downside is concerning, and it's a bit strange given the fact that we did previously see this upward surge higher. So, this is a major reversal here, and there are real questions about the ultimate direction. So these are the levels that need to be watched. And if we start to see closes above or below these levels, that's going to be your main signal that the trend is that the upcoming trend is either going to be bullish or bearish. So here's the current market analysis for SoFi Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker SOFI. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.